The government has been actively seeking solutions to address the ongoing dispute with members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum who have been protesting at the Finance Ministry demanding the payment of coupons and principals. After days of picketing, the pensioners agreed to a meeting with the Finance Ministry to discuss the issue of interest payment on the outstanding principals. During the meeting, which took place on Thursday, the Finance Ministry, represented by Deputy Minister of Finance Abena Osei Asare, was unable to persuade the pensioner bondholders to forego their demand for interest. Dr. Edouard Nanientwi, the convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, addressed the press following the meeting.
We are asking for payment of interest. Government say it cannot do that. It can't pay the interest. We have said that if government is not going to do that, we still want it to be done. And so in that case, we will need an arbiter. So we have suggested that we will submit the matter to CHRAJ for CHRAJ to go into and tell us whether we have the right to take to demand the interest or not. So we have decided that we will do an official letter to government demanding the interest payment on the delay coupons, and government is going to respond. Delayed principal, we are going to send a letter, official letter, on the demand for interest on the delayed principals. And then we know the response of the government, but the government will also put it in writing. When we get this, then we see where we are going to take the matter, and we have already said that perhaps the first place we will go is CHRAJ.
The government proposed to buy the bonds of the pensioner bondholders at market value, but the group has resolved to reject the offer, insisting they will only accept principals along with the accrued interest.
Government is suggesting that they want to make a proposal, and the proposal is to buy you at market or to convert your maturity values into treasury bills. We have suggested to government that if you want a proposal that will be accepted, do the proposal on principal plus accrued interest. That you will get some successful, you will get some level of success. Principal plus accrued interest, because that is the amount you owe people. If you owe me that amount and you don't want to owe me again, pay me what you owe me. And what you owe me is my principal and the interest. You don't owe me the market. I haven't said I want to sell for me to go to the market. You say you want to buy me out, so pay me this. We have suggested that to them. But the government is saying it's going to make these two proposals. I say, well, bring your proposal. If you bring market or treasury bill and people will accept, that's their personal interest, their personal decision. But for us, we have advised government, if we want to make that proposal, it should be at principal plus interest, just as that was done when they were doing the conversion. When we were doing the DDEP, it is your principal plus accumulated interest which was converted into the new bonds. So why are you now saying it's difficult for you to convert that?
Prior to the Thursday meeting, the Finance Ministry had assured the pensioners that the outstanding coupons would be settled starting from June 5, but they failed to fulfill this promise. As a result, the pensioners have chosen to resume picketing to demand payment.
Then the second one that we also discussed was that they were supposed to pay the coupons that were due up to 29th. At last week's meeting, it was to be immediate. So we have expected the coupons to be paid by this time. We haven't received any alert. The Deputy Minister says, but the Bank of Ghana has told them that they have sent money to the banks for the banks to credit their accounts. But we haven't seen any crediting from the banks. So once no alert has been received, we are going to continue with our picketing. If by the time we leave here, we see alert that the amount is being paid, we won't come tomorrow. If we don't see anything alert system working today, we will come again Friday.
So government was unable to find an agreement with the Pensioner Bondholders Forum at a meeting earlier today. The pensioners, they've been asking for government to pay interest on about 4 outstanding principals, but government says that there's no money and that it cannot afford to pay interest on these outstanding principals. Now, the pensioners, they are insisting that there's no free money in the capital markets. And so if you keep someone's principals for over 4 months, you must pay interest. They are taking up this matter with CHRAJ, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, to determine if they have the right to demand for these interest on the principals. Originally, they were not scheduled to picket today because government had promised that it would pay some 5 outstanding coupons, but as it stands, we've been told that they've not received any alerts to that effect, and so they chose to resume their picketing from today. They say that if by tomorrow they have not received any alerts, they are going to picket again tomorrow. My name is Charles Osukumi. I've been reporting for Citi News from the Finance Ministry.